Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of our shooting program, and welcome to today's show. We're so glad to have you, especially we're glad to have those people that are finding us since we departed the Outdoor Channel Network. Of course, a lot of folks did not know where we were on satellite, so we're so glad to have you with us. We're also glad to have all the new viewers who are watching our program. I want to remind you, we do have our Sunday morning gospel program that is on Telstar 401, Channel 3. And of course, now you're watching, if you're watching by satellite, you're watching on Telstar 401, Channel 18. We understand that a little later on, they're going to change our Channel 3, the gospel program, over to our same transponder as the shooting show. Also, though, something very exciting. We've already, by the time you see this, the radio program will have already run, but yes, we're going to have a radio broadcast also. And this is going to be on the American Freedom Network. They're based up in Johnstown, Colorado, and we're really excited about this because they have a number of affiliates all around the country. It'll give a lot of you a chance to call in and talk to me on the air and discuss whatever gun-related issues or whatever else may be on your mind, but that will certainly be something we'll get to state our case. In fact, we understand it's going to be available worldwide on shortwave, so this is really something we feel like, again, has to be done. We're so excited about being with the American Freedom Network on radio. So they have some wonderful programming. They have some very, very entertaining things and very informative things. I tell you what, friends, we all need to think about getting into shortwave radio because a lot of us are concerned about the controls that the government and some of the larger corporations have on what is available to the viewing audience. You know, right now there are a lot of little satellite dishes that are showing up in people's homes, and that's all well and good, but essentially that's wireless cable because you can only receive what they designate is there for you. That's one reason we are now selling our large satellite dish because, one, you have available up to 500 channels. One, you can get all the free stuff up there, which I understand is over 100 different things that is free as far as programming goes, but also you can get up to around 500 different channels on the full-size dish. I tell you what, friends, with the controls, and you know, recently we were hit by the political correctness crowd, and of course we're anything but politically correct, and that's okay, but they're going to be reaching their tentacles further and further into more of the things that we see and hear. You know, the government is already proposing legislation to get involved in what you get on your computer. I tell you what, friends, the New World Order bunch, they're definitely on the march, and they can be stopped. You know how to stop them? Is tell everyone the truth, because here in this country we are essentially the #1 country in the world, and as we go, a lot of the other world also goes. So it's so important now. We're not fighting this fight just for us. We're fighting it for our children and our children's children and for many generations to come. You know, evil is like a doggone weed. You know, the root is going to be there in the ground. It's always going to rear its head when it can, but it has to be chopped off. I mean, you've got to keep them cut back. To have a nice yard, you've got to keep it cut to keep the weeds down. And that's essentially what it is. Freedom is like that. Freedom is an ongoing battle for the good things in life, for the quality things in life. It is an ongoing battle. It just doesn't, we don't have one large war. They used to say, well, we had World War I, the war to end all wars. Well, human nature being what it is, and a lot of wickedness out there, and you know it's true, human nature being what it is, that old evil is going to rear its ugly head, and it has to be defeated. That's the only way you can deal with evil. You have to defeat it. And we do that by being vigilant and being ready to come to the aid of our country and our society. And now we can do that. We can do it at the ballot box. There are a lot of things we can do, as we talk about certainly on our gospel show. But anyway, we have a great show for you here today. Let's begin today's shooting program. We have our shooting show competition Ruger here. We have our steel disc out here to 100 yards. Let's see what it looks like. Easily done. You know, friends, I'm always talking about just how accurate these P90 Rugers are, especially our shooting show model here. We've got our orange disc over there at 200 yards. And yes, I'm going to have to use a little hold over, but let's see if I can hit it. Well, we got a little sunshine out today. Glad to see it. Of course, a little rain's not going to deter us. One thing that will deter us is lightning, but thankfully we don't have any of that today. You know, friends, all of us would like to be able to shoot fast and accurately. However, there are some things that we can do as far as our technique and gun handling that will certainly increase our speed. You know, friends, we have, of course, all kinds of people that watch our program, all different varying degrees of experience. And, you know, when people come down here to the range and shoot, which they do occasionally, we have guests out certainly. And incidentally, we're going to have a shooting show day, hopefully before the end of the summer, over at Clark Custom Guns in Princeton, Louisiana. And a lot of you may want to come to that. So we certainly want to invite as many of our viewers as can make it, as can. Certainly, we sure want our gun club members to come, and any other viewer of the program that would like to come and be with us for a little meeting there and some shooting and dinner on the grounds type thing. We'll just have to see how that develops, but that's something we're working on. Anyway, your grip on the gun is very, very important on how well you shoot, in fact. You know, a lot of us tend to grab a grip on a handgun like we would a broom handle, something like that. Well, it's not the same thing. What you want ideally is a situation where, say, I'm right-handed, we'll demonstrate that for now. You'll hold the gun out sort of a boxer type stance. You want your left foot leading and your left shoulder to be forward, and you want your right shoulder in front of your right hip. You want it to be a little forward because it puts you a little lean forward here, see, to cushion the effect of recoil, to give you a better way of getting back on target. And here's what it looks like. Certainly, you want your left hand or your offhand to be a shock absorber. You want your right hand extended, your right arm extended, and then you want your left hand to be a shock absorber, pulling down and back on the gun there. In fact, just on your right hand, your dominant hand here. So it's certainly, see, very little muzzle climb. Again, kind of rocking forward on that left foot. See, it makes it much, much easier to recover. Let's see. Need to get some more bullets, I think. Shot the magazine down there. Here we go. And yes, I am shooting our competition model Ruger. You apply the safety and the hammer does stay cocked on this particular gun. You can call us, call Bobby, 1-800-728-8486 if you're interested in owning one of these. Or if you have a P90 with a safety, it has to be a model with a safety, you can send it to us and we can fix it for you. It'll also come back to you with a videotape of proper procedure and some instruction there. And the total cost for modifying your gun, including postage there, will be $150. You'll also we'll put the grips on it, and we'll stencil the side of it, just like this gun, our shooting show competition model here is going to have later this week, in fact. But we can certainly offer that as a service. If you've already got a Ruger P90 and you know how well they shoot, most of the ones we've ever seen were really good shooters. And tell you what, friends, that 200-yard shot we made a while ago on the intro, that was one shot. That wasn't a half a box getting there. That was one shot. And many of you, you know, that's the thing. If you can hold the gun steady, these guns really do shoot well. So, all right, back to the drawing board here. And yes, a little water running my eyes. Humidity out here. Okay. Remember to rock forward, not really rock, but stance forward a little bit on your off side. If you're right-handed, if you were left-handed, we'd do the same drill, like so. Same drill, we'd lean forward on our right foot, again pulling down and back with our off hand, and lining that up. You want that to be very, very in a line there. Let's take a look again on the right side. Get in position and watch just how you can control. And we're shooting full charge ammunition. Not shooting targets though, we're shooting full charge ammunition here. So, watch how the muzzle doesn't move that much and you can quickly get back on target. Again, sort of like a boxing stance, sort of a boxing type stance type thing. All right. Right shoulder a little bit in front of the right hip. See, very little recoil or muzzle jump certainly aids your recovery. And you get back on target quickly. So let's take a look at that up close and just see what it looks like. Now friends, we have certainly our Ruger and we know this gun's unloaded. We know it is. We check them 3 times. We check the semi-automatics 3 times, the revolvers 3 times. 1 time to see if it's unloaded, twice to be sure that we saw what we did the first time, and 3 times as a fail-safe on checking the gun, just to be sure here. Okay, notice here's the web of my size large hand. So you want the back strap of the gun and to be right in the center of the web of your hand, because you want it to go right down your arm. You want a straight shot here, just right down your arm across the slide to the target. And what happens is a lot of people have a tendency to grip the gun like so here on the side. Now see, watch, under recoil it's going to have a tendency to torque my wrist. It's going to be much more stretching to the ligaments and tendons here. And one, I won't be able, and we know this gun's unloaded. I'll go ahead and put my finger in the trigger guard. We won't have nearly as good a control on the gun. See here? We're back here. And a lot of people have a tendency to grip like this, and that's wrong. They're gripping a broom handle instead of the stock on a handgun. So here's the proper way, like so. And see here, you can manipulate the safety easily, your slide stop. This is the way these guns were designed. And plus, instead of getting this torquing motion, it'll be a straight up, and of course you've got a much better purchase on the gun. You'll get a straight up here, and you have your much better control with the muscles in your arm. Let's go ahead and load our P90 here. Now then, let's shoot it the wrong way first. Go ahead and push our safety off. Shoot the wrong way and watch on recoil, watch where the gun goes. See, it came over like this, like so. Now I'll release the trigger, put the gun on safe. Now then, let's shoot it properly braced, and watch the muzzle of the gun now. See, right back in position, right where it came up like that, and right back in position.
My name is Jim Willey. I'm here today to introduce you to the Little Freedom Association. Our goal is to unite the citizens of this country together to promote and protect our Constitution and our constitutional rights, especially the Second Amendment, because it's what protects the rest of them. If we took all the patriotic, moral, law-abiding citizens and joined them together, we would have the single largest group in the nation. I can't see how anyone out there could not be concerned about our Constitution. For sign-up or more information, we may be contacted at P.O. Box 1436, Craig, Colorado, 81626. Phone number is area code 970-824-8771. I'd like to thank Johnny and the judge for the time on this show today, and I'd also like to thank everyone out there.
Well, Jim, we certainly applaud everything that you're doing here.
Now friends, here's one of the neatest ideas we've seen in a long time. This is the cincher holster. One holster to fit small, medium, large, even extra large handguns. The cincher is fully adjustable for practically any handgun. The cincher's genuine sheepskin lining is specially treated to combat holster wear and protect your gun's value. The cincher is designed for comfort and concealability. It's just a little bit wider than your belt. Cinchers can be worn in a variety of positions, strong side, cross draw, or inverted, and worn concealed inside the belt in the small of your back. It's ambidextrous. It instantly converts to left-handed use, and every cincher adjustable holster comes with a no-nonsense 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it for any reason, simply return it for a full refund. No questions, no hassles. This amazing adjustable holster also comes with a lifetime warranty. Now, here's how to order. The cincher holster is only $29.95 plus $3.50 shipping and handling. Give Bobby a call, 1-800-728-8486. Again, 1-800-728-8486 for the cincher holster. The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Now friends, the same thing is true on the revolver. A lot of people tend to grip around here, see? Well, that way, again, the gun is going to do this in recoil. It's going to twist their wrist back like so. The proper grip would be here, remember, right here in the web of your hand to get this straight shot down your arm. And see, let's shoot it the wrong way first. Let's do the wrong way first, like so. Watch the muzzle of the gun. See, it torqued this way, like so. Now, let's do it properly. Go ahead and cock it. See, it was correct. See, came up like so and right down back on our target, right back in place where it should be. Okay, friends, and something I want to just mention to you briefly. All of us have seen people on the range, especially new shooters, and a lot of the ladies are especially have to be careful about this, because instead of having proper shooting stance, instead of being proper, I've seen people out on the range and they'll do this number here, and they'll lean as far back as possible, and that's incorrect. One, it's very uncomfortable, and I know why. A lot of the ladies don't have the upper body strength, maybe they that some of the men have, but it makes it much, much easier to turn sideways like so. Turn a little bit, again, that boxer stance, whether you're a man or a woman. Lean forward into it a little bit, see, and bring that hand up like so, and have it. It's much, much easier if you're doing it like this here. And see, it's hard when you're standing up straight. We have a tendency to want to fall over. See, if we just have a straight isosceles stance, and we're pointed forward, if we're leaning forward, we have a tendency to want to fall over. Well, the way we overcome that is just have our stance like so, one foot in front of the other, like so. And I know why people are doing it. They're trying to balance themselves out, hold the gun out, yet keep from falling over. Well, that's incorrect. You use the same stance whether you're shooting a handgun, a rifle, or a shotgun. Actually lean into it, see? Okay, let's go ahead and let's run a test here. We've got our Pro Timer. And I'll tell you what, I really have some great things to say about the competition electronics equipment, because this one was inadvertently left out in the rain the other day. I said, oh no, we literally were going to rust our Pro Timer, but it didn't, and it is functioning. We shook the water out of it, and it is functioning just perfectly. So we'll go ahead and put this on here. All right, now the first way we're going to shoot the wrong way. We're not going to have a proper grip. We're going to be too far around, and let's see what our grip size. We're going to do a little rapid fire here, 5 shots. And with the wrong grip, let's check our grip size here, and we'll start from the ready position, safety off. Go ahead and punch our timer, and let's look at it. Okay, 5 shots in 1.62 seconds. I tell you what, my hand's feeling it too from being wrenched this way. Now then, let's tape our target and reload. 1.62 seconds, 5 shots the wrong way. Let's try that same drill again. We've got our target taped up here. Go ahead and punch our timer. In cocked and locked position on our Ruger. Safety off. Start button. Okay, 1.16 seconds. So, in fact, and certainly a better group size. Of course, the first time around I was waiting. Yeah, I was shooting some lead bullets, and you can see the smoke from the lubricant. Anyway, and full-powered stuff, 230 grain lead bullet at about 900 feet per second, 875 to 900. So, okay, we have a smaller group, in fact. Now, friends, I would suspect a lot of us that are having trouble reaching the safety and the slide release on our semi-automatic, probably all we need to do is adjust our grip around there, again, where that barrel, the line through your sights there, is running right straight up your arm. You know, that will make shooting a lot easier and faster for a lot of us. Let's try the same drill with our .357 revolver, our Smith & Wesson 686 here. And let's shoot it the wrong way first. 5 shots the wrong way. All right, we got a chance to go here. And muzzle blast. But you'll notice that took 3.91 seconds, and I'll tell you why. It was binding. My finger was actually binding in the trigger guard, and just from having that grip too far around there, like a lot of us tend to shoot these things. So, heck, I can't shoot one at all like that. Put our target back up, and believe me, I was going as fast as I could for the situation. And let's briefly tape our target so we'll know where we are. Tell you what, this roll of tape here is invaluable when you go out target shooting, because, you know, these holes all look the same. And say, well, I believe I shot that one last time, or did I, or whatever. Let's go ahead and put 5 more rounds in our revolver here. And humidity is something out here. I tell you what. Okay. Now let's run another 5 through. Realize that 5 took 3.91 seconds the wrong way. My hand way too far around my finger. Flesh was actually binding between the trigger and the back of the trigger guard. So let's do it the right way. See what a difference it makes. Well, 1.34 seconds. Tell you what, the muzzle blast on the .357 is tough. We had a fair group. Of course, it was falling during that time, I believe. But, yeah, the muzzle blast is something on the .357. But see, 1.34 seconds, just no comparison whatsoever for 5 shots. Some of you would do it faster than that. Some of you would do it slower, but that's a reasonable thing. And you could tell that the muzzle, see, was coming right back on the target because I had that proper grip. So something that we think is important. And remember, one of the things you have to be aware of, you have a semi-automatic pistol, is when you take the magazine out, you can see the bullets there in the magazine. Is this gun unloaded? Magazine's out of it. All right? Is it loaded or not? It sure was. Yes, it was loaded. And this is a mistake a lot of people get. They forget about the one in the chamber. This is very, very important. They forget about the one in the chamber. So that is so important. You know, on a revolver, all you have to do is take the cylinder out and you can see all the holes there. But remember, to those new shooters, remember that just because you have the magazine out of the gun, there may still be one in that chamber, and you have to remember that. This is something that now with concealed carry permits being issued in more and more states, and certainly we encourage, if you feel like you need to carry a gun, well, you ought to have the right to, but you need to understand how the gun operates. Remember, we never touch that trigger until we're ready to shoot the gun. There's no point, there's no reason to touch that trigger unless we're ready to shoot the gun. So that would prevent a lot of accidental discharges just because don't touch the trigger, gun won't go off. So these are things that basic things that we have to go back and cover from time to time, but that are so important. You know, friends, our idea of gun control is being able to hit your target, and believe me, it is a lot more fun when you can properly control your handgun.
Soldier of Fortune magazine, published and edited by Robert K. Brown, former Special Forces A-Team leader, delivers the goods. For over 20 years, Soldier of Fortune has been on the lines covering wars from Rhodesia, El Salvador, Angola, Grenada, Burma, Panama, and Croatia. Anywhere a shot has been fired in anger, Soldier of Fortune has been there with in-depth, on-the-scene commentaries. We were on the cutting edge at Waco, the Randy Weaver siege, and covering the Oklahoma City bombing, and now at Jordan, Montana, with Soldier of Fortune correspondent Jim Pate being the first reporter to enter the Freeman compound. Each issue of Soldier of Fortune features articles by internationally known weapons expert Peter Kokalis, evaluating what's good, what's bad, and what's new in the field of weaponry. Soldier of Fortune is in the front of the battle to protect our gun rights, and we're constantly on the alert for federal abuses of power. Subscribe now at the special rate of $28.90. Call 1-800-877-5207 and receive 12 action-packed issues of Soldier of Fortune magazine. In addition, you will receive a free copy of Fighting Firearms, edited by Peter Kokalis. Again, 1-800-877-5207, 12 action-packed issues of Soldier of Fortune magazine, $28.90.
Well, friends, here it is, the great Rossi 971 VRC. This is a .357 Magnum stainless steel revolver, 4-inch barrel with a compensator. And you can tell that compensator really does help to hold that muzzle down. These are great guns, lifetime warranty, on sale through Verde Firearms Corporation. This one is $270 plus $5 shipping and handling to your favorite FFL holder. I tell you what, friends, these are first-rate, first-line guns, adjustable sights, that vent rib and compensator, a comfortable rubber grip, a great bargain from the Verde Firearms Corporation.
The Rossi 971 VRC from the Verde Firearms Corporation is $270 plus $5 shipping and handling. You can call them at 1-888-215-1515. It's a free call. It's 1-888-215-1515 and tell them you saw it on the Shooting Show.
The Shooting Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. Soldier of Fortune magazine, published and edited by Robert K. Brown, former Special Forces A-Team leader, delivers the goods. For over 20 years, Soldier of Fortune has been on the lines covering wars from Rhodesia, El Salvador, Angola, Grenada, Burma, Panama, and Croatia. Anywhere a shot has been fired in anger, Soldier of Fortune has been there with in-depth, on-the-scene commentaries. Subscribe now at the special rate of $28.90. Call 1-800-877-5207 and receive 12 action-packed issues of Soldier Fortune magazine. In addition, you will receive a free copy of Fighting Firearms edited by Peter Kokalis. Again, 1-800-877-5207, 12 action-packed issues of Soldier Fortune magazine, $28.90. Well, friends, we hope you're enjoying our program today. And in fact, we have our Colt Sporter, which is similar to, but not the same as, the military AR-15 or M16. This is a semi-automatic carbine. Yeah, that magazine is loaded. Now, the chamber is empty. But this is no joke. This is for real. Of course, I don't think our set's going to be invaded. I don't think there's a chance of that. But we're just not going to pull the boat back on this. But this is a real gun, and certainly deserves to be treated as so. You know, we've had a lot of fun with this. Here I said, we know there are people who come across, they're flipping through the channels, whatever, and come across us sitting here in front of this No More United Nations flag, and it's basically AR-15, and they say, what in the world? But you know, it is sort of an attention getter, and you folks know how radical we're not. You know, that's the silliest thing I ever heard of. We've been accused of being militia TV, and that's really not true. We, of course, talk about all kinds of things in the militia. In fact, this program is going to air after we do it, but I'm going to join Norm Rasnick on the American Freedom Network. In fact, tomorrow, we're taping this on Wednesday, we'll do this tomorrow afternoon. And we're going to talk about the militia and hopefully can get you involved. So, no, we're not militia TV, although the militia is within our Constitution. Am I correct on that, sir?
Yes, it is. The militia is, by acts of Congress, the militia is composed of every able-bodied person in the United States. And in the Louisiana law, the militia is every able-bodied person. I think the law actually said male in the state between certain ages. Mm-hmm. I'm a little bit aggravated, almost to the point of figuring on some legal action. And let me tell you about what. The media, in large part, not all of them, but I think that the public really recognizes that most of the media is extremely liberal. On the other hand, they would claim they were not liberal, they were just moderate. The word moderate has been so overworked that it's pitiful. If anybody believes in the Constitution as it was written, then we are right-wing extremists. And I suppose they would have called Jefferson and Washington and all of our founders as right-wing extremists. I am particularly aggravated that someone has called this program, and I have it in writing, a pro-militia, anti-UN rhetoric. Well, I am anti-UN, and I'm proud to say that I'm anti-UN because I believe in the United States of America and to the sovereignty of this nation, and I don't believe in surrendering the sovereignty of this country to anybody, even so altruistically sounding an organization as the UN, because it's not altruistic. We are now talking about a method of raising money for the UN so they can fund their operations by taxes that are not voted on by anybody and the people who spend it are not subject to control or political control by anyone. Now, that's wrong. Taxation without representation is horrible. Taxation with representation appears to be pretty bad also. But at least there we can do something about throwing the rascals out. How are you going to throw out somebody with the UN that you don't even get a chance to vote on?
Wait a minute, Judge. Isn't this the reason that there are separate countries? Isn't this the reason of separation of, just like families, let the people next door live like they want to, we're going to live like we want to over here?
Well, of course, and there are ethnic differences, and there are social and there are differences in the mores of different people over the world. In some places, it's considered to be good social behavior to take the head of your enemy.
That's true. We saw that on PBS last week. That's true.
It's not good social behavior in this country, and there is something that's called due process that most of the rest of the world doesn't know anything about.
That's true. That's true. So why should we subordinate anything to do with us to the judgment or vote of these other countries, just like that trade agreement? We're one of, in GATT, how many, the World Trade Organization, we're one vote out of, what, 116 countries?
Something like that.
And these people could care less about our interest.
Well, I'm tired of being told that I'm preaching to the choir. I may be, because people who don't like what we say maybe don't watch this program. But I think it's a good choir. I think it's a constitutional choir. And I resent being called a right-wing extremist or a right side of the choir. We are constitutionalists. We believe in the Constitution of the United States of America. I have taken an oath to preserve and defend and protect that Constitution. And although I'm now out of the organizations that caused me to take that oath, which I gladly took, I still believe in it. I still feel like I'm bound by that oath. Now, if any of you who are our viewers know of any specific examples where slanderous remarks have been made about this show or about either Johnny or me, I would like to receive that information. If you have it in writing, so much the better. If you'll send it to me, I'll Xerox it and get it back to you. We are constitutionalists. We believe in the Constitution. We think the Second Amendment is important. We think the First Amendment's important, and I think the Fourth and Fifth Amendments are extremely important.
Well, let me tell them where to send that, Judge. Send it to Leroy Scott, 2620 Centenary Boulevard, huh?
Right, Suite 100.
Suite 100, Shreveport, Shreveport, Louisiana. Zip is 71104. Sure, 71104. Sure.
Or if you send it to Johnny's address for the show, he'll get it to me eventually.
Thank you very much.
And it's not true. It's not true that we were taken off of the Outdoor Channel because we gave out their 800 number. That simply isn't true. That was an excuse, perhaps, but they'd already laid down an ultimatum to us that we had to change the format of our show, we had to change the length of our show, we had to take off our political commentary, and
camouflage.
Well, who wears camouflage? Is this shirt camouflage?
Urban camouflage, Judge. Urban. That's what the urban camouflage.
Okay. All right. But we support people who are supporting the Constitution and who support our gun rights. And I'm very irritated about it, and I'm getting to the point where if I can, it's just gotten bad enough so that I'm contemplating legal action. And I know the people that I'm talking about are watching this show. And I'm telling you, stop it or else. Because once I get aggravated enough to get into legal action, you're gonna wish I hadn't. You're gonna really wish I hadn't. Many times on this program I mentioned a little booklet that I had and that I couldn't find, and now I found a couple of copies of it, The Myth of the Right and the Left. It's a beautiful expose by a friend of mine named Leonard Joplin, who swears he's going to write a sequel to it, but it exposes the difference in the right and the left, and there really isn't any difference. The right believes in political control, the left believes in economic control, and neither one of them have anything to do with what we're interested in, and that is maximum government versus minimum government. Ideally, there should be no government, but human nature being what it is, government is necessary in order, if nothing else, to preserve order among its people, reasonable order, and also for the provision for national defense. So we've got to have some kind of government. We can't have no government, but we can have minimum government, and that means government should not intrude into those affairs about which it has no business. Now, there are some people who believe, and a lot of them in the United States Congress, who believe that everything is a government's business. But that neglects the fact that the Constitution of the United States delegates only certain powers to the federal government and reserves the rest of the powers to the states or to the people. Now, it is very, very important that you remember this, and there are some members of Congress who are aware of it. Even some of those people in Congress who are aware of that and who believe in it nevertheless vote to extend the power of the federal government in certain cases because they think, well, the thing that we're taking care of is a bad thing. Every law limits liberty in some way. Therefore, every law that limits liberty should be neatly tailored only to solve the problem that is so overriding that it needs a limitation on liberty, and should only address that, and then only after careful consideration of it. There are actually too many laws. When I first started practicing law 46 years ago, all of the statutes in Louisiana were in 2 volumes. They were pretty thick volumes, but they were in 2 volumes. Then a revision took place, and now I've got one whole bookcase full of laws of Louisiana, and the federal government has gotten even worse. If you ever looked at a federal library, you would be astounded. And people would say, how do you know everything that's in those books? Don't know everything that's in those books, and nobody else does either. And I don't think the people that enacted the laws know everything that's in those books, because the laws are 700 and 800 and 900 pages long, and that is simply too much for each individual member of Congress to read, and they're taking somebody else's word about what's there. And of course, the people that are giving their word about what's there are the ones that are interested in getting it passed, and so they tend to kind of gloss over the things that in their opinion, people wouldn't like. I'm going to stay after Leonard Joplin until he gives us an update of this little pamphlet, and if it is at all possible, I'm going to see that it gets printed and published at a minimum cost, and I hope that every viewer that we have and every lover of constitutional government will take the time to read it. This is it's not this long. 32 pages. You know, that's not as much as is in editorial pages of some newspapers.
That's true. And in fact, let's mention something. We are so happy about now being online, shall we say, certainly on the air, in addition to our gospel program on Sunday morning and also this our shooting show here. The radio program is entitled Thinking Right with yours truly, and this is the American Freedom magazine, and this is, sir, tell me, is it terrific or what? The American Freedom magazine.
Well, I haven't seen but one volume, one issue of it for very long, and this issue that I saw today. But yes, I think it's excellent. Notice there's a whole page there where they reprint
the Bill of Rights.
The Bill of Rights.
That is just excellent. I tell you what, they are certainly a morally based, a Christian ethic, Judeo-Christian ethic organization, and we are so excited about this because if you'd like to listen to our radio program, if some of you would like to call in and talk to me, you certainly can, and I'm going to have my esteemed colleague on some with me. We'll talk about gun issues, talk about other things too, but you certainly can. To reach the American Freedom Network there in Johnstown, Colorado, you can call them if you'd like to subscribe to their magazine or find out more about their programming. You can call them 1-800-205-6245, and this is I think the cartoons in this are absolutely great. I mean, it is just so entertaining. They feel very much like we do. Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. Friends, what do Jim Clark Sr., K. Clark Michalik, Jerry Michalik, and Jim Clark Jr. have in common? You can find them all at Clark Custom Guns in Princeton, Louisiana, one of the finest custom gun shops in the entire country. They offer all sorts of custom packages on 1911s and other semi-automatics, from race guns to custom carry guns. They also offer a number of different custom packages for the Ruger 1022, and also have some very economically priced new 1022s in stock. They now have a limited number of AR-10s in stock. A lot of us will want to know more about these. Clark Custom Guns offers some of the best revolver packages available anywhere, including action jobs on your Smith & Wesson or some other fine revolvers. In addition to custom work, they also have a completely stocked gun shop, anything from bullets to powder to accessories that you might want. Clark Custom Guns offer some shooting classes. You need to call for availability. Friends, it's certainly good for the shooting show, but good for yourselves when you call and get a Clark Custom Guns catalog. They have all sorts of things listed about their products and services and excellent prices. Give them a call. Area 318-949-9884. Again, 318-949-9884. Clark Custom Guns, the complete custom gun shop. Give them a call today. Tell them you saw it on the shooting show. Now, friends, you're looking at the cover of the New American magazine, and this is so appropriate, that freedom shall not perish. And of course, this is the issue you'll get with your shooting show subscription, the Oklahoma City, the Case for Cover-Up issue. This is absolutely, friends, the finest news magazine available in this country today. It comes every 2 weeks, $22 for a 6-month subscription to the New American magazine. You know, friends, among the interesting topics, you have a picture of Hillary Clinton here holding a baby and asking the question, does your child belong to the state? Well, I think we all have a good answer for that. And on the other side there, we're looking at Russia's global crime cartel. All sorts of things that we not only need to be concerned about, but we need information on. Well, friends, I'm here with our lovely and talented assistant. This is Catherine, and for someone that did write in, no, Catherine and I did not get married. I'm married to somebody else. Now, Catherine's still single as far as I know, huh? And you get some fan mail periodically, and they can write to Catherine through the program here if you'd like to. And anyway, what do you have there? What you have?
Some new issues of the New American.
Yes, indeed. And friends, this is such a terrific news magazine. Let me just read something that the New American sent to us that they wanted to communicate to you, our viewing audience. The New American supports the U.S. Constitution, including the Second Amendment, and feel there is a real threat to the Second Amendment. We feel that the best way to fight this threat is by exposing what is being done, who is doing it, and how it fits into the big picture of what's happening in and to our country. I think that's awfully well put. Says the New American is political and conservative, but not party-oriented. This is very important. We're just as likely to call to task Republicans as Democrats. And also our new byline on the magazine, that's right here, that freedom shall not perish. I think that is just excellent. We feel that only informed Americans can make intelligent and responsible decisions at the ballot box. Friends, give them a call. The New American, $22 for a 6-month subscription. It comes every 2 weeks. 1-800-727-TRUE, 1-800-727-8783. Give them a call today, and please tell them that you saw it on the shooting show.
The Waco report that's been, this is from the latest NRA facts. The Waco report has criticized Janet Reno, the Witch of Waco, as I like to call her, for failing to exercise proper oversight of the BATF and being grossly incompetent for solely blaming BATF officials rather than holding Treasury Department officials accountable. Be that as it may, a fact from Gun Owners of America about Representative Stockman, Steve Stockman, who replaced the Democrat chairman of the Judiciary Committee in the House. Congratulations, Steve. We love you. Gun Owners of America helped Steve Stockman in the last election, despite the fact that the NRA had originally endorsed him. And I've raised Cain about that endorsement, sent a fax to the NRA, and strangely enough, I got an answer. They called me on the telephone and said, we've got to endorse him, because if he isn't reelected, Chuck Schumer will be chairman of that committee. My answer was, that's only if the Democrats retain control of Congress.
Well, nobody saw that coming, I don't think.
I did.
Well, you did, but a lot of people didn't.
I think that divided government is not all that bad. Gridlock in government is not all that bad because it limits the amount of damage that government can do. Mm-hmm. And government is actually, whether you like it or not, is an enemy of freedom. Stockman has pushed his Second Amendment agenda in the Congress, and Gun Owners of America saying, please help Representative Stockman, because he has been vigorously opposed by the what I would call liberals, certainly not moderates, certainly not conservatives, and they want you to send money to Representative Stockman. Well, I'm going to do it. They tell you that if you give more than $200 in a calendar year, that you are supposed to furnish your name, mailing address, occupation, and name of employer for each individual. But you can give $200 as long as it's in excess of 200. So you want to stay under 200, and the feds don't get your employer or anybody else. But they do want your name and address, and they're asking that you send these checks to the Gun Owners of America, all made out to the Stockman Campaign Office. Let's see, Stockman for Congress. You can give up to $1,000. A married couple can give up to $2,000 as long as you got $1,000 for each one. I don't know many people that can afford to give $1,000 like that, but you might be able to spare a couple of hundred. And if you send a couple of hundred to the Gun Owners of America Political Victory Fund, made out to the Stockman for Congress campaign, and send it to Gun Owners of America at 8001 Forbes Place. That's just like F-O-R-B-E, that's just like Steve Forbes. Forbes Place, Suite 102, Springfield, Virginia. Springfield, Virginia, 22151. And I want to go on the campaign trail for some other people here. Woody Jenkins in Louisiana, Helen Chenoweth in Idaho, and Steve Stockman. Those are two of the best members of Congress in my book. And of course, we're trying to get a best member of the Senate elected in Louisiana with Woody Jenkins. Mm-hmm. I'm putting a 2x4 sign up in my yard for him. I live on a fairly busy street, and a lot of people are going to see it. I hope it does some good.
Well, I do want to add where we're going to be for our radio broadcast. We will be. You can get it on satellite now. It's on Galaxy 6, channel 14, 5.8 on the audio. Again, G6 or Galaxy 6. Channel 14, 5.8 audio, and our radio show will run from 12 to 1 Eastern Time all across the United States. Of course, that'll be 11 to 12 Central, 10 to 11 Mountain, and 9 to 10 Pacific. But we really do want you to tune in if you'd all possibly can.
I want to talk a little bit about something else. You know, we've all heard about the Viper group out in Arizona, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And here's an example. On NBC's Nightline program, Wednesday, July 10th, there were 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 references in 16 minutes of the Viper militiamen, the Viper militia, the so-called Viper militia, militia members, etc. Let's find out what the Viper group is. You know what they are, don't you, Johnny?
Yes, sir, I do.
Are they a militia group?
No, they're not.
What are they?
They're a motorcycle and rocket club.
Have they ever called themselves a militia group?
Not to my knowledge, certainly not. No.
That's something that the liberal media is stuck on.
The media has done that, yes.
The word militia is an honored word and ought not be considered derogatory. But the liberal media has seen fit to make it derogatory. Oh, he's just a member of the militia, you know. Well, that means you're a citizen of the United States, so that's what you are. Oh, you're just a citizen of the United States. Ted Koppel, Tom Brokaw, Tom Foreman, all made these references to the Viper militiamen. They're not part of the militia, except that they are citizens. The Viper group was not a militia group. The Viper group was a motorcycle club, a rocket club, and I don't know what else. And I think that's something that needs to be understood and clarified. Now,
See, this is that subliminal persuasion that the liberal media uses to try and make something into something that it's not. And they're crafty about this now. Look, this is not just by accident. This is a plan. They're very well schooled on how they're going to do it.
Now, Johnny, what did at the SHOT Show? We've been on the air now at that time for how long?
This 5 years SHOT Show, we're in 6 years.
How long had we been on the Outdoor Channel?
3 years or so.
And at the SHOT Show, how long ago was that?
January.
Okay. Now, what did they tell us about this program?
Well, it was one of the most popular programs they had. That's what they said.
They liked it, didn't they?
Yep, what they said.
They gave us hats.
Yep.
And congratulated us and invited us to make their booth a place to sit and rest and walking around in that show. Of course, I was riding a scooter. But here they are telling us what a great outfit we are and how people like our show. And then a few months later, they kick us off when we haven't changed a thing. We haven't changed a single thing.
Well,
Can you explain that?
well, I could, but it would take a while. And
Well, we'll do it on the radio program. Be sure to listen to our radio program, Mr. Hardwick. You'll enjoy it.
Soldier of Fortune magazine, published and edited by Robert K. Brown, former Special Forces A-Team leader, delivers the goods. For over 20 years, Soldier of Fortune has been on the lines covering wars from Rhodesia, El Salvador, Angola, Grenada, Burma, Panama, and Croatia. Anywhere a shot has been fired in anger, Soldier of Fortune has been there with in-depth, on-the-scene commentaries. We were on the cutting edge at Waco, the Randy Weaver siege, and covering the Oklahoma City bombing, and now at Jordan, Montana, with Soldier of Fortune correspondent Jim Pate being the first reporter to enter the Freeman compound. Each issue of Soldier of Fortune features articles by internationally known weapons expert Peter Kokalis, evaluating what's good, what's bad, and what's new in the field of weaponry. Soldier of Fortune is in the front of the battle to protect our gun rights, and we're constantly on the alert for federal abuses of power. Subscribe now at the special rate of $28.90. Call 1-800-877-5207 and receive 12 action-packed issues of Soldier of Fortune magazine. In addition, you will receive a free copy of Fighting Firearms edited by Peter Kokalis. Again, 1-800-877-5207, 12 action-packed issues of Soldier of Fortune magazine, $28.90.